Are you looking at wanting to buy, sell, or invest in the Greater Vancouver market and wondering what is happening in the market right now today? Well, it is April 2024, and I want to give you all the stats and the numbers of what just happened in the last month of March 2024 in the real estate market and where it looks like things are heading into the rest of the spring market here in Vancouver. Now, if you want to, this is going to be strictly numbers based, primarily jumping right into the stats. If you want to know more about the different policies that both the federal and the provincial government have put in place and announced over the last 6 weeks that are really going to make a big impact on the market, then make sure to pay attention to the next video that I am posting on my channel, because I'm going to cover all of those and how it is going to affect you, whether as a buyer, seller, or investor. Hi everybody, my name is Jonathan Lerner with the Vancouver Life Real Estate Group and practicing real estate here in the Greater Vancouver area. And our team spans from Whistler all the way out to the Valley, and we love helping our clients make the change and make the move, whether that is moving into the area, moving out of the area, upsizing, downsizing, and this is what we love to do. And we love to help you make a smooth move. So if you have any questions or you want to reach out, go right down below this video in the description there down below and give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or book a Zoom call with us, and we'd love to get in touch. All right, let's dive into today's stats. We are covering the stats from March 2024 because they come out in the first week of April. And essentially, one of the biggest news items is that we are back into multiple offers again. However, at the same time, we have more inventory on market for buyers to choose from, which is a great thing. One of the big headlines for this year's market in March 2024 is that homes newly listed for sale grew by 23% year over year. But we have to take this into context because last year was when we were still in the midst of rate increases. We weren't sure what things were happening. A lot of skepticism and anxiety about what the real estate market was going to do, what the economy was going to do. So people were not willing to make big purchases, and there was very little confidence in the market. So homes coming to market for sale were much less. So just take that in context when you hear 23% year over year. Yeah, that's a big number, but given the market last year, it absolutely makes sense that we had such a big gain this year compared to last year. Sales in March. Now, this was interesting. 4.7% decrease from March of last year. Even though the market itself was not as strong, sentiment was lower, we still saw less sales this March than we did last year. And it was 31% below the 10-year seasonal average. However, there's some big numbers on the other side of this that I want to talk about. And this was quoted in the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver in their market release here. Despite the welcome increase in inventory, the overall market balance continues inching deeper into seller's market territory, which suggests demand remains strong for well-priced and well-located properties. And that's absolutely the case. If there is properties that require renovations, that require a little bit more work and TLC to be able to get them ready, well, then those are typically the properties that are waiting longer on the market. And I mean, that's usually always the case. But if you have a property that is ready, move-in ready, turnkey, nothing to do but moving your things, and it is priced right, then those homes, those properties are flying off the shelf, and many of them in multiple offers as well. Our total inventory ended the month with a 22.5% increase over March of last year and 6.3% above the 10-year average, which doesn't say a whole lot because we are just in a state of constant low inventory right now. Now, this is the big one though, sales to active listings ratio. This is really indicative of where prices are going to go. A high sales to active listing ratio above 20% means that we are in a seller's market and that prices are likely to climb. And so the aggregate for all the property types combined was 23.8%. So we are in a seller's market across the board for all market types. Now, when you break it down by product type, detached homes are at 18.2%. So they're just below the seller's market territory. So they are considered in balanced market, but likely next month that will be jumping up over 20% the way things are going. Attached homes, meaning townhomes, townhouses, they are at a 31.3% sales to active listings ratio. So those prices are starting to go up and competition is happening in that price range dramatically. And apartments, condos, they grew sales to active listings ratio by 25.8%. So again, well into the seller's market. And we are getting competition in those areas for especially the turnkey, well-priced units. Another quote from the Real Estate Board in their stats release, even though the market isn't quite as hot as it was last year, we're still seeing modest month-over-month price gains of 1 to 2% happening at the aggregate level, meaning all product types combined, which is an interesting dynamic given that borrowing costs remain elevated. I'm shocked that they are saying at modest month-over-month gains of 1% to 2%, because if you take $1 million property, that's $10,000 to $20,000 that property is gaining in price, in value every single month. And we were on a decline in prices from August all the way down to about December. Then it started to plateau out through December, January, and February is the first month the HPI saw prices starting to rise. And so now in the last 2 months, we've seen 1% to 2% price gains per month. And this is a big jump. And to be considered basically a trend, you need 3 months in a row, and we are absolutely going to have that trend continue as we move into April here. Continuing with this quote, with the latest inflation numbers trending in the right direction, it remains likely that we'll see at least 1 or 2 modest cuts to the Bank of Canada's policy rate in 2024. Some are saying more, but even if these cuts come, they may not provide the boost to affordability that many have been hoping for. Obviously, we are far beyond that right now. And as a result, we expect constrained borrowing power to remain a challenging headwind as we move into the summer months. And to be honest, this is the nature of our market moving forward. Our interest rates are never going to be back into that 2% range. It's just not going to happen. Our economy cannot sustain that. And we have way too much demand for the supply that we have in the market. And so interest rates have to stay higher. Now, at the same time, we have a lot of business closures are dramatically increasing at a much higher rate than I think the banks and corporations were anticipating. You'd see about 170 companies closing per month across Canada, and now we're up over 500 a month. So things are starting to roll here into those recession style numbers, and we're going to see more layoffs and unemployment numbers follow suit with that over the coming months. And so despite things in the housing market really starting to ramp up again, we have these other numbers in other different industries that are starting to pull back and really are going to push the Bank of Canada's hand to start to decrease interest rates, because these higher interest rates are really hurting companies and corporations, and we need people to be employed as well. So they are likely going to be decreasing the interest rate cuts and create a rate cut. Many people are expecting it's about a 64% chance of a rate cut in June of a quarter point. Some people are pushing that out to July now, but time will tell as more numbers are released as we get closer to that. The MLS HPI, the home price index price across all properties, that averages across Metro Vancouver is sitting at $1.196 million. And this is a 4.5% increase over March of last year and a 1.1% increase over February, the month prior. Detached homes benchmark price is sitting at just over $2 million, and that is a 7.4% increase since March of last year, and nearly a 1.8% increase over February, the month prior. Apartment homes, condos saw a nearly 8% decrease compared to March of last year, yet the benchmark price, so sales were down 7.9% in March compared to March of last year. However, the benchmark price, HPI price of condos, hit an all-time record high of $777,000. That is the highest we have ever hit for all condos across the greater Vancouver area. And this is, again, we saw the sales to active listings ratio sitting at 25%. This is going to continue to rise over the coming months. Townhome sales also saw a 6.2% increase compared to the year before, and the benchmark price is sitting at $1,112,000. And that is a 5% increase from March of last year and a 1.7% increase over February, the month prior. So there is your stats, everyone. Obviously, it is heating up from the realtor perspective, boots on the ground perspective. Things are moving fast. Open houses are very busy. I mean, you walk up to open house and you see the piles of shoes at the front door. We are in multiple offers and have been over the past 6 weeks in the market. And again, this is primarily happening with those turnkey, move-in ready, no renovations required homes that are priced right. And we are starting to see, for your reference, if you are a buyer, we are starting to see offer dates coming out again for these really strong turnkey properties, which many times they are now underlisted below what current market value is. So it draws a lot of eyeballs, draws a lot of people to come to the open houses, creating multiple offers and then outbidding and creating that competition. That is not all the properties out there. Many properties are priced very strategically with what market value is today, but you need to have that realtor on your side that understands what the market is and being able to compare and do the comparables of different apartments or homes in the area and where that price market value actually sits today. there you have it, everyone. There is all your stats for today, for the last month of March 2024 in the Greater Vancouver real estate market. If you have any questions about your situation or these numbers or the market in general, how to go through the process of buying, selling, investing, whether you're looking at resale or pre-sale, go right down below this video. You got my number, my email, website, and being able to book a Zoom call with me there as well. So number of ways to reach out, and look forward to having that chat and helping you make a smooth move in this area.